A man from the community, a hardworking guy, the amazing Mayor Peter Chan. Thank you, Peter. And in conclusion, oh, no.
Thank you, Mike. Let me thank everyone for coming tonight. I'm really honored and privileged to be the mayor of the city the second time. And of course, 13 days and counting. And I enjoy every moment of it. So thank you so much for coming. And because of the time limit, I don't want to hold you the whole night. And I may skip some talking points. But I want to thank Dora and the president of the Greater Monterey Park Chamber of Commerce and all the directors and volunteers and sponsors. Sponsors are very important to make this possible. So thank you for making this happen. And so let's just go through the things and we'll see how, let me see how they work. Whoop. To you. Yeah, I never be good in doing this. Oh, it's not Hokkien. That's why it doesn't work. But anyway, while they're working on the machines, and I want to apologize because I have some cough the last few days, and just yesterday I thought I can stay out of it, and but no, I went to see a doctor yesterday, and I have some antibiotics and some medication. So if I cough or whatever, please bear with me. But it's okay. We have a doctor in the house. Dr. Young is right here, and we have the paramedics right there too. So we're in good hands. And David Getz, he's one of the firefighters that went to join the delegation to have a trip to Hong Kong for the exchange program. So David, maybe let's do it later again. And thank you, Troy Grant, the Police Association, the Fire Association coming tonight, and thank you for all the services to the city. So is it ready? Okay. So first of all, we'll have a few minutes, around 5 minutes. Oh, you skip that? That's a video for the city of Monterey Park. It might take time to, if not, we'll just skip that one. That's okay. Okay. No, not in my condition. Oh, she can sing. But anyway, let's get to the presentation. So what I will do tonight is to tell you everything about Monterey Park, try to, in a short half an hour or so, and then we'll have questions and answers. And then please hold your questions until I finish the presentation. And I will touch upon all the departments in the city, so you know what's going on in the city, how we are doing, and also maybe a little bit about what will happen in the future. So let's start with the city clerk's office. And the city clerk's office, well, I shouldn't talk about this because our city clerk is right here. So he knows more. But just very quickly, they have a lot of things, election, they hold all the documents and record everything in the city. But the most important thing is they have passport services, in case you don't know. If you need a passport, go to the city clerk's office. They get your application and help you to fill the forms. The only thing they don't do is that if you want to renew your passport, they don't do it. They only give you a form to go home and fill it out and send it out. So you have renewed the license, your passport. City clerk is not the place to go. And then they have to have a spring cleaning events to get rid of all the junks in the house. And of course, we are going to be districting in the city starting in 2020. and then they have to do a lot of election stuff. I'm not going to go into the details, but the passport services I have talked about, but no renewal. And then they prepare all the records and tell people to vote. And they promote that and ask people, make sure for them to register and vote. And then they do the cleanup, and in cooperation with Athens, which Ed Chan is right here, or he stepped out, and he's a sponsor. Athens has been great to the city. They did a lot of cleanups. And all you need to do, if you have bulky furnitures that you want to get rid of, then you can call them and they will come to pick it up for free. Okay, then another thing is very important is economic development, because the city needs tax revenues to provide all the services. Like, for example, the police service, the fire service, parks and recs, the library, and public works. It needs money. And so where's the money come from? It's from the tax revenues. Tax revenues, the most major revenue from the city is property tax. And the second major source of income is sales tax. So with economic development in the city, those two items, property tax and sales tax, will increase. And then they will provide money to the city so that we can provide services to all residents. And pretty much we know last year, starting June of last year, Marketplace opened. Costco's opened already. Home Depot opened right afterwards. And then this year, or end of last year, it's Chick-fil-A. And just recently, In-N-Out Burger and Chick-fil-A was last year. And this year was Starbucks, Mott Pizza, the American Eyeglass. And there's more coming. Buffalo Wild Wings and more good stores are coming. And we'll see how it goes. And that will create a lot of tax revenues for the city. And then another exciting thing is the Courtyard by Marriott, which we all saw when you come into the city from the Freeway 10, when you get off the exit on Atlantic, right on the right-hand side, the big building, that's Courtyard by Marriott. And they are supposed to be open already, but because of the delay, maybe the end of the year. And they have 288 rooms, but now this is the Marketplace, Courtyard by Marriott. So it's 288 rooms. They have meeting rooms and banquet rooms and restaurants. They have a Starbucks. I didn't know. So there's another Starbucks there. And then in Marketplace, we have Costco's, Home Depot, Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out Burger, Starbucks, Mott Pizza, America's Best Eyeglasses. Buffalo Wild Wings will be coming. Ono Hawaiian Barbecue is coming. Modern Mattresses is coming. Maybe sometime next year. And then we'll talk about the fire department, one by one. The fire departments, the most important thing is to keep us safe. And they have good training, they have good equipment. That's why they were rated by the insurance organizations that they rated them Class 1. The Class 1 means we are at the top of the ratings. That means all our residential insurance, the fire insurance for the residential area and the commercial areas are the lowest premium. That's what Class 1 is about. And so they have a lot of capital improvements within the Station 61. The ground has been repaved, and there's a iron fence, around the area, and just to make it safe, and sort of because before there's a lot of people just walk right into the fire department. Now it's fenced off, and so it's more safe for people. And fire engine and ladder truck replacement is coming. The new one, although we won't see the difference, because when I see those trucks, they're in mint, ready conditions at all times, because they did such a good job. I thought that was a brand new fire truck. No, they're like 15, 20 years old, but they keep it so brand new. It's just like brand new. And they have the paramedic program and also the community emergency response team. And so they are ready to do things for us. And they have completed the plan for Station 62, which is on M Gate and Garfield. That station is built in 1948. It's pretty old and small. The trucks are a lot bigger than the building itself. So they're going to start demolish that building and going to rebuild like this one. And on the outside, it looks like just a house, a regular residential house, but actually it's a fire station. Because the reason we do that is because we want to blend in with the residential area. Right next to it is a church. Behind them is the residential areas. So people don't even know there's a fire station there. So that's the idea. And then we have more trucks come in, and they are scheduled, the engines and trucks, they are scheduled to complete by the end of the year. So we have new equipments to replace the old ones, and we have the state-of-the-art equipments for the fire department, and that's why we got rated Class 1. And then another thing good is that we have the CERT program. They taught people, and I think Mayor Pro Tem Hans Lang, and 13 days later he will be the mayor. He's a member of the CERT member. He knows how to do resuscitation or all kinds of things. Yeah, all kinds of things which I don't, and so which is good. And they put in a lot of training and teach us, because the thing is, we are all members in the community. If you wait for the paramedics to come, life may be in danger. But we know how to do some emergency stuff, simple things to keep life going, and that will help a lot of people. So we want to thank the fire department for all the things that they do. And so they integrated code enforcement into community risk reduction, because code enforcement is important. And because there's a reshuffle of the personnel in the city management departments, and so code enforcement is under the fire department now. And there's a lot of CERT program I just talked about, and 22 CERT members. They also are ham radio operators, because in case of emergency, of course, we just got a big one. Well, not as bad, 7.1, and earthquake. And radio is the only means to get communications. So we have ham operators, and that will help to communicate what's going on out there. And of course, and they will expand the CERT program to city employees and ELAC. And so if any one of you wants to join the CERT program, just tell them that you want to be one of the CERT members, and you will help people. That is a good thing. Now, on human resources now, go to another department, is that they hire people. That's the human resource department is. Personnel department, put another word for that. And they hired the permanent city librarian, because our previous librarian retired, Norma Revisa, and I think most of us know her. And then right now is Diana Gazier is the new librarian, and she's very good. And then also the Police and Fire Association has already have a contract signed. And before, usually we have 2 years contract with the Police Association and the Fire Associations. Now we extended to 4 years. The reason for that is that we have a more stable financial situation. And the thing is, the city has a lot of things coming in the later years, like the Marriott Hotel, the Marketplace. And those, we need to give them time to get stabilized and do better. So the money we anticipate will come later, not right now. So we negotiate the contract that, to start small, a little increase the first 1 year, 2 years, and then load it at the end. So that will help the city. And thank you, the Police Association, Fire Association, to get together and agree to the agreements. That will help the city too. And of course, they have revision to the city, the personnel rules and regulations, keep it up to date, and they do that. And they have also negotiated with the other city employees too. And then we'll go to the library. Now, a lot of people said the library will be obsolete. Well, I heard that years ago because of the digital age, because of the e-books, TVs, and all those things. But no, our library is going well. Still, a lot of people came to Monterey Park Library because we have a lot of books, magazines in all kinds of languages, not just English, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, and some other languages. So people from all over the country, when they come to visit LA, they come to Monterey Park and come to the library and study. And we have a lot of programs and do translations, and they have some new stuff, the computer things, the new apps for the language. And they have the updated teen room space because children is very important. The second story is for the children section. So if you go up to the second stories, and they have story rooms, they have children's books, and the chairs are smaller and lower so that the young folks can enjoy in the library. And it's a good place for them to play, to study, and to meet each other and study and help out each other as well. And that's a new one. Wow, 2 or 3 years already. A career center. Because a lot of people, they need to find jobs. And they have no computer, they have no means to know what's going on in the city or around the city. And so we have a career center that they have updated materials and help people to find jobs and to give them help, assistance, give them points, how to write the resume, how to present yourself. And that's important because some people don't even know what to do or how to, in the interview, how do you interact with the person that will hire you. So this is a place to train them, to give them experience. And this is a very good development in the city. And preschool is very important because we want to help the children to grow better and be good citizens and successful in their career. So they have a lot of preschool expos and fairs to help them along the way. Youth programs, and like some new immigrants in the city, they don't speak English or very little English skills, then we have the program to help them to improve their English, to improve the writing skills, and help them to blend in to the society. And this is important. Literacy, and I know that our city clerk, he's been a teacher, a tutor in that program for citizenship and for literacy. And a lot of people came in and learned the skills, how to talk, and how to get interviewed, how to put in the application forms to apply for citizenship. And all this are free, no charge. Anyone can go in. If you want to learn, just come to our library. And of course, there's a long waiting list because good things will have a lot of people coming in. And the management service. Now, this is some department that is so obscure that no one knows what's going on. You can see the police on the street. You can see the firefighters on the street. You can see the parks and recs, the public works. They're paving the roads, trimming the trees, all those things. But management, what is that? Because actually it's very important. They do the payrolls. They do all the financial statements, all the finance in the city. They manage the whole city. Without this department, the city cannot function. But we won't see them. They stay in second story, in the second floor in the city hall, and no one even wants to go there. But so if you have time, go there and say hi to them. And the director is Annie Young. He's been there for a long time, and she did a great job. And so we have a balanced budget. And this year, we just finished a budget of $105 million. 6 years ago, when I first elected to the city council, our budget is only $89 million. So 6 years, we increased. Now, this is the total budget for the year. The general funds, we have two parts of the fundings. One is the general funds, the other one is the other grants and tax fees and stuff that make up the 105. The general funds, when I started in 2013, is only $35 million. Now, this year, we have $45 million. So you can see the increase in the last 6 years. And every time, they have recognized by the they have recognitions for many, many years. And they have do a lot of customer convenience services and make sure things are easy. And the most important thing right now is that we have that ERP system that the city council approved a new program, because the old program was so old. It may crash or may not work anytime. So last few months, the council approved $800,000 to have a brand new computer system, financial system, and that will integrate the whole city so that everyone will be more efficient and everyone knows what's going on in accounting and financial numbers is concerned. Well, I don't want to bore you with that. You need some accountants or finance planners to understand what's going on. But then, of course, they monitor the sales tax revenue and make sure that the state Board of Equalization give us the fair share, and also the fund. This is important. The fire ladder truck, the engine trucks. What do you think? How much they cost? They cost a lot of money, over $1 million. So even the tire, I was told, one tire costs $6,000. Yeah, those are big tires and solid. And I think they don't put in air because air is solid inside, right? No? I was told, I don't know. That's why you guys are here. But anyway, those are expensive things. And we need to have finance. And so it's kind of like the very low interest and a dollar buyout, that kind of deal. So it's been done. And also have received the Operating Budget Excellence Award for 28 consecutive years. So you can see how good our management service is. And they will this is a tough one. Unfunded liabilities. I don't know if you heard about that, but because of a few years ago, the accounting office say you need to, before we don't have that kind of problem, unfunded liabilities. What that is that when the city employees retired, they're entitled to pension funds for life, the percentage of their regular salary. So once they retire, they receive those. This unfunded liability is that if every single one of the employees retire tomorrow, for example, then we need to pay out, let me tell you, $99 million of unfunded liabilities that we don't have the money to give everyone. But don't worry, because no one is going to, it won't happen that all the employees will retire tomorrow and will collect the money for life once and for all, because we'll pay them every month, monthly payments. And a lot of them are still working. And so the previous employees that retired and the future employees that will retire, if they collect all those pension funds, that's what we need to pay out, $99 million. And then that will create problems to the general funds, because this year we have to put in $2.6 million from the general funds to put into pension funds just to make it working. And next year, it will go up to $3.6 million. So altogether, we owed $99 million. But it's a concern, but it's not an alarm, because no one is going to retire everyone, or else the city will fall and will not do anything. But we are finding ways, and the management service is finding ways to address this problem. So we are addressing that already. And so they have implemented the enterprise resource planning. This ERP system, which I just mentioned, is a new computer system, financial and accounting, payroll, everything integrated so that all the departments knows what's going on. And we'll seek revenue options to see how we can finance all the public works, all the roads, all the things that we need to do in the city. So we need those experts in the management service to tell us what to do and how to implement those plans to make it work. So although they are obscure, they are not anywhere, they are not flashy, but it's a very important job. Okay, now we go to the police department, and our police association president, Troy Crane, is right there at the back. Troy, thank you for your service. Yeah, and the accomplishment for the last year is that they have the Ring doorbell events 2 times. The city put in $10,000 one time, and then $10,000 another time, is to finance, to help people, the residents, to buy the Ring system, the Ring doorbell. And when people press the doorbell, then on your cell phone, you can see who's there. And then, excuse me. And then from the cell phone, you can call back that person. You can just talk to them. You know their face, and it's important because then we can have the people's look. If they excuse me, if they press the door, go into your house, burglarize your house, ransack your house, we have the pictures. Then you can give the film to the police department, and they will chase them down and arrest them. Hey, Dr. Young, anything you can prescribe to me? Oh. Other than the Ring doorbell, they have toy drives in Christmas time, giveaway events, and I will talk about the major arrest incidents a little bit later. And they have the animal service, the pet licensing, and the low-cost vaccination clinics. You have dogs and cats. You want to have license, they're here. So as I said, they have 2 doorbell events in November and February. And also they have the rebates. And there's over 200 Ring doorbells already out there. And of course, your different places, all the residents, they have also installed not just the Ring, but different brands. So the thing is, if we have more people or more residents with this kind of equipment, so criminals, when they come to Monterey Park, they know that their face is somewhere be captured. And so it will be easier for the police to arrest them and identify them, and so that will keep the community safe. And so they have the different association with the fire department, Garfield, medical center, and all those toys are given to the needy people. Now, this is the major arrest, and it just happened recently. And in December, there's a jewelry store. I know there's only one jewelry store in North Atlantic, right by Atlantic Times Square. They have a robbery, and our police officers chased them and caught the suspects. And thousands of dollars worth of stolen jewelry was recovered. So where's Richard tonight? That's his store. And then in April, on I think it's on New Avenue and Garvey Avenue, it was on the news, on TV and so forth. There's a gun battle going on, and there's a gambling house there. And so the police shut them down, and the suspect arrested, charged with multiple felony charges. And just recently, in May, on Garvey Ranch Park, that's Orange and Metro in that area, that's Mike King's area, closed. And they tried to burglarize the houses. And because we have a good neighborhood watch program, so the neighbors called the police. And even the county sent the helicopters over and arrested all those burglars. So neighborhood watch is important, and the police has our police department have a very strong neighborhood watch program. So if your neighborhood has not formed a neighborhood watch program, make sure to talk to Troy, and he will refer you to the community relationship department and form a neighborhood watch program. It's important because we help out each other. And pet licensing and all those things, if you have dogs, cats, whatever, they provide a new service, well, not new, but continued service to help us. On public works, of course, everyone complains. There's a lot of potholes around the city, and the roads are not good, that kind of things. But the thing is, the city is 103 years old. The system is very old, and with the usage, it's deteriorating. So we need money to fix them. So we have, in this budget, we have appropriated a few $1 million to do the repaving of the roads and the sidewalks. So, and they have a few divisions. Community transportation, that's a spirit bus system that's going around the city. We have 5 routes, and right now the city council has already started a plan of Lyft program, Uber Lyft program, but we are working on that, not yet, and so we'll kind of like to start that kind of program, and that is in Monterey. Monterey City has already started that, and it's a very successful one. So it's kind of like you put in $1, you get a ride within the city, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As for the Spirit Bus, it's only Monday through Saturday. Saturday is reduced services and only from morning until evening. And so like weekends and nighttime, you don't have that kind of services. So, but if we have the Lyft or Uber program, then it's 24 hours. And that's convenient to all of us. Mobility is very important. And that's under the public works. Of course, engineering, they need to plan out, what to do with all the stuff. Maintenance service, park maintenance, and water. Water is important. In the city, we have 12 wells. And some in the city, some outside the city, in city of Rosemead. And that's the Delta Plan. It's a big one. And the major accomplishments, there are bike lanes on Reagan and Cesar Chavez. And we are planning to maybe have more bike lanes later. And to replace those old gasoline buses, spirit bus with LNG or CNG is natural gas, which is more environmental friendly, less emission. Oh yeah, the gas coming. And also we have the electric charging station in City Hall, and we plan to have more the solar panels in the City Hall, in the library, and also in the Langley Center, so which is forthcoming pretty shortly. Maybe when Hans becomes the mayor, he will have a ribbon cutting on those solar panels and more charging, electric charging stations. And also they completed a lot of ADA, the American Disability Act, for the disabled persons, the ramps, because a lot of times when you're in a wheelchair, you get to a row, and then you cannot get back on. So that's why we always want to make sure that all those ramps are done, and the sidewalk replacement, because sidewalk is very important. And we have an app. It's called MPK, and it's a free app. We have a cell phone, a smartphone. You can download that program. If you walk and you see that the sidewalks is buck up or crack or whatever, create some hazards, just take your cell phone out, shoot a picture, send it in, and they will replace it. So because the public works department, they cannot go and walk all the streets at the same time, so they need our information. So we are the eyes and ears for the city. So if you see something wrong, tell us. And also we have the grants, $1.8 million for signals and pedestrian crossing. And actually, we have synchronized the lights, the traffic lights on Atlantic, North Atlantic, from Newmark all the way to Howman. All 6 traffic lights has been synchronized. Before, if you go from one end to the other end, it may take you 10 minutes. Right now, 3 minutes is the max. And of course, we rehabilitated well number 12 for pumping reliability and efficiency, and they planted 42 tulip trees, and then they designated design initiative for water and sewer lines on North Atlantic Boulevard. And as I said, those water mains and sewer lines are old, so we need to be actively prevent those bursting or breaking of those works. And then we have the different beautification programs and reserving projects, and the water master plan, sewer plan, and we did the wells, and also there's a lot of benches, picnic tables throughout the city parks. We replace them because they're also kind of old. And so we'll talk about the mobility program, and so that's what I was talking about, the Spirit Bus and the Lyft or Uber program. Recreation and community service now. As you see, we have a very busy year, starting for the Lunar New Year's, Easter, 4th of July. Well, you can see quite a lot of things going on, and they are very busy. And summer, there's summer concert and summer movies in different parts of the city, usually in the parks. So those are all free, and you can enjoy them. And we have a weekly farmers market. Before it's in the library, right outside the library in Ramona, right between the library and the city hall. Now they moved to Elder Park, and it's on Thursdays from 4 to 9. And so go there is pretty good. So try to get to go there and buy some fresh produce, and you can see some eggs and some whatever. So they will bring it on. So take a look. And they have a lot of events going on and a lot of free stuff going on throughout the years. So, and we have the Cascade newspaper. It's a free newspaper for information, and it's distributed to all the residents for free. And they updated the newspaper, and it looks better. Excuse me. Before, in May, is the birthday of the city. Hey, Dr. Young, I need you. But anyway, before we call play days, and a lot of people say, what is play days? But actually, that's the birthday of the city in May. And actually, the city incorporated on May 29th, 1916. So that's 103 years ago. And So we celebrate the birthday kind of like in the middle of May. And so we have the play days, we have a parade, and this year we changed the parade route, and it seems like it's better attended, and a lot of participations, and so come to enjoy the birthday of the city. And other than the parade, oh, okay. And the website for the city, if you go to Monterey Park .ca.gov, you see that. And it's a new design, more friendly, user friendly, and it's better. And so take a look. There's a lot of information there. Even all the council members' file forms are there. If you want to know what they do, how they do it, how much money they raise, you can see it online. And then we have the night at the ballpark, and also they just went to see a Dodger game. And I think there's a Hollywood Bowl event coming pretty soon. So if you want to join them, you can ask them. And so this is kind of like what's going on in the city. But I want to talk a little bit is about the future developments in the city. Now, there's no more slides, so you don't have to watch there now. Is it the Kajang by Marriott is coming at the end of the year, hopefully, and then and Panera may come to the city. We don't know yet, but they're talking about in the marketplace. And there's some exciting developments coming in, like the town center, which is the vacant lot in Garfield and Garvey in downtown Monterey Park. It's been vacant for over 10 years, but we have a good developer now. They have submitted a plan to the city, so it may come forth shortly, maybe starting next year, they will start work. And of course, we have a commission, General Plan Commission is going on, and I think they just finished their study and work, and they're preparing the reports to the council, and will come to the council shortly. And then maybe in March of next year, all the residents in the city will vote on the plan. That's what our next 20 years will be. And one of the commissioner, I think Yvonne Yu is one of the commissioners. Thank you for your service. And that's the future of Monterey Park and how we want to do it. Because there's a lot of things that we talk or heard from the community. Yes, we need revenues. We need new tax money. But what's the balance? We don't want to have 100 hotels in the city. We don't want to have overcrowded in the city. We don't want a lot of traffic. But then, of course, if you want good business, you want good income to the city, you need people to come to the cities to spend money. So where's the line to be drawn? So that's what we are going to talk about it, going to debate about it, and going to set, what will be the future of Monterey Park. And I can tell you also is that Metro, now, as we know, 710 is gone. The connection to 210 is gone. I don't think it's going to happen anytime sooner, or maybe in a few decades down the road, it may happen, but it's not. So the Metro kind of killed the connection from 710, the connection to 210. So but we have a lot of Measure R money left behind. So Metro has to spend that. So they granted Monterey Park $60 million from Measure R money to build 3 parking structures in the city. It's done. And on top of that, by the way, I've been talking to Metro many times, have many meetings with them, and then we negotiate, so we have $60 million. And at the last time, when the final approval, because at that time I have to attend another meeting, so Mayor Pro Tem Hans Lang, and 13 days later will be the mayor, and he stayed there for 6 hours, right? And so, and here, just to hear the result that yes, they granted us $60 million for the 3 parking. 60, 60. Yeah. But then after the six hours spent in the metro room, he right after that he called me and said, "Peter, you owe me a good dinner." Well, we did. Well, not dinner. We had lunch, a buffet lunch. But anyway, those are good. And on top of that $60 million, we have $31 million extra. It's at the same time approved by the Metro Board that Mayor-to-be Hans Lang is sitting there for 6 hours, $31 million to fix the roads around 710 and 10. Yeah. That's a done deal. So the first parking structure most likely will be built on Lincoln and Garvey. Where's the ABC Cafe, the travel agency lot? Because that parking lot belongs to the city. So we own that. So we don't have to buy the land. It's readily available. So once we got the money, we can build right there. And that will transform downtown Monterey Park. That's a big thing. And then across the street is the town center. As I said, they put in the plan, so it's forthcoming. And also the other side of the street is the Hong Kong supermarket. According to the owner, is that Hong Kong supermarket is another lease a year or so left. So after a year or so, when the lease finished, so they will demolish the Hong Kong supermarket and become a mixed-use project. So those are all in the works. And then if you walk on Atlantic Times Square, right next to it is a big empty lot. It was the Best Western Hotel before, and now they demolish it. It's going to be Holiday Inn Suites on Atlantic. And at the back will be condominiums, residential houses. So those are common. And then the New Avenue School, do you know where that is? Right, on New and a little bit off Garvey. And they have plans to build 62 or 65 units of condominiums in that area. So right now they demolished this whole school. Is a vacant lot, and they will forthcoming. Maybe in a year or two, they will be built. So there will be, and the most important thing is that the whole state of California, we are short in housing, and we need a lot of affordable housing. And that's one of the reasons why we have so many homeless problem in Los Angeles. So we need help from the state, from the county, and from the federal to have more funds to the city to build more housing, especially affordable housing. So those are the plans in the work, and those are the things that we are working on. So I can answer a few questions if we still have time.